Morning, everyone. Daria from Beincrypto here, and I'm really happy to see that many people, because I know it's not an easy task sometimes to show up on the third day of the event. But anyways, I'm quite sure you won't regret it, because in the next 23 minutes, we'll keep exploring Ripple steps in Cosmos ecosystem. But before we start, let's ask our amazing speakers to introduce themselves briefly. For those who missed the early amazing keynote, can you please? Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi, I'm Aurélie Delem. I lead the partner success for RippleX, and I'm based in Dubai. Yeah.
Thank you.
My name's Mary McGilvray. I was the product marketing lead for IBC at the Interchain Foundation, and now I'm moving into a new role as marketing director at the Interchain Foundation across the ecosystem.
Thank you. Daniel?
Hey, I'm Dan. I lead growth and product at Evmos. Evmos is the standard for building blockchains and products with block space, and we brought EVM compatibility and customizability to Ripple, and so I'm really happy to be here, so let's talk.
And last but not least.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Ferran, I'm the CEO of Peersyst Technology, a tech firm based in Barcelona. We've been about 8 years now, and we are very focused and big contributor to the XRP ledger ecosystem.
Coolio. Okay, let's start. When I hear Ripple, I instantly think of two things. Payments, of course, and liquidity, because like historically, they're your areas you're working with. So how do you envision these use cases evolving when Ripple is diving into Cosmos ecosystem, and what opportunities you see?
No, I see a lot of great opportunities, like I was just saying, like connecting two of the best ecosystems between XRPL, Cosmos with the EVM compatibility thanks to Evmos. And so in terms of, you're right, like the DNA of Ripple and even the vision like from the founders of XRPL was really about like making a better Bitcoin, I would say, in terms of making it faster, like without using mining, faster, cheaper, most importantly. And so yes, XRPL was like originally designed for payments, 100%. And it has evolved now, and when you look at Ripple, the main businesses, you have like payments. We just acquired Metaco, which is now called Ripple Custody. So when I think about custody, it's this entry point, like when you get into, the first interaction you have with a bank, it's like, okay, I open my bank account, so that's the custody. So it's good entry point, good like for like level of trust. Okay, I have that trust. My assets are custodized. So payment, custody, stablecoin. So the RLUSD stablecoin getting launched soon, and like now, like what I was saying, like tokenization. So it's a huge exponential growth area. So I would recommend any of you to look into that. I always feel like crypto is almost like the POC of blockchain. But tokenization is going to be how we get like TradFi on chain and disintermediate. So yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah.
Can you please name a few things that will contribute to your retail user base, not just like institutional ones?
Yeah. So a great question. So people are always thinking about institutional and retail, but I think it comes hand in hand. Like institution, they won't come if there's no retail, and you need both. And so on the retail side, like one of our strongest partner is OpenEden that I was talking about on the tokenization front. They are based in Singapore, and they give access to retail to tokenized assets. Not announced yet, but they're looking to partner with some distribution channel that's going to democratize even more access to T-bills. And not only like lowering the minimum ticket for because like now, if you want to access like government bond in the US, at least for me as a French person, I need to be like a high net worth and like a private banking. Here you democratize access to retail, to T-bills. And then, as I was saying on stage, it's not only, okay, I have access to T-bills, but what do I do with my T-bills? How can I put it in collateral and unlock lending beyond that? So for me, that's huge.
Yeah, thank you. Because many people still think that actually, like tokenization game, RWA mostly for institutionals and retail can get anywhere there. But yeah, thanks for clarifying this. Okay, Ferran, I need some builders' perspective here. Can you please share how Peersyst experience on building on both XRPL and Cosmos ecosystem make the project unique? So what new features it does bring to the table?
Yeah, sure. When we started the XRP EVM project, we were mostly focusing on XRP EVM itself. So we've been across different ecosystems. Our experience was on EVM and with the XRP ledger, and we've exploring solutions such as Polkadot, such as Avalanche, and we came to Evmos as well, Ethermin by the time. And we feel that this was a very production-ready, allowing modular customization for the future of your chain. So that was a very important point. So bringing all these walls together allowed us to add like this third party. Initially, we wanted to merge XRPL ecosystem with EVM ecosystem. Just by integrating Evmos, we get Cosmos in the same pack. And then after that, we started discovering Cosmos ecosystem. We started seeing that was huge, was vibrant. It was a lot of innovation, especially in interoperability. It's groundbreaking, and I think that makes an extra receipt to this product, that it makes it very unique and joins, I guess, some of the three most unique and used ecosystems right now in the world.
What are like the most exciting applications for you, of course, that could possibly emerge from XRPL integration into the Interchain?
Well, I don't want to highlight one specifically above all the others, because the main reason that we've built the XRPL EVM is to provide programmability. As Aureli pointed, XRPL, it's been built in 2012, so right after. So basically, it's before Ethereum. There was no general purpose programmability. So by the time, it's very difficult on the XRP ledger to build your custom code. You can do it. It's designed for that, but you need to make a fork, and it takes a lot of time, and you need to make an amendment in C++ that needs to be in consensus with the rest of the network, and it's quite difficult, right? So there is like this Pareto law, so 20% of the use cases are still 80% of the usage, or probably more, but there is a long tail of projects or customizations that we are not allowing right now. So the points I'm more interested are probably in one side, DeFi itself. I think XRP ledger, XRP token itself has been quite isolated. If you see it, it has about $2 billion volume daily. So it's one of the most traded assets in some of the most developed economies like the US, Japan, Korea. It's among the top 3 most traded assets.
Yeah, especially now, like when the status is finally clear.
Yeah, so I think like the point is that if it had this adoption and this volume without being exposed enough to DeFi, I'm very interested in seeing like now, thanks to the Interchain stack that will be connected to all the EVMs and Cosmos ecosystems, what people does with it. And in extension of what Aureli said, Ripple and the XRP ledger will have now all this huge range of tokenized assets that will, I think, XRP ledger will lead on that. And through all this interconnectivity, these assets will be able to be ported then to all the Cosmos ecosystem, to the EVM ecosystems. And there is a huge range of applications that can take benefit of that and create very interesting use cases on top of it.
Yeah, thank you. Interesting. Daniel, from Evmos
Yes.
perspective, what are the opportunities of integrating EVM into XRPL, and how does it contribute to breaking the borders of interoperability across the whole interchain?
So I think generally, I mean, we're also talking about IBC here at Cosmos, the interchain, and I think I want to see this as like building bridges, not just between blockchains, but also between like enterprise and decentralized finance, or institutionals and decentralized finance, but also between crypto and fiat. And so I think what I really, when I think about building anything on blockchain technology, I think about the underlying benefits. We already talked about custody, right? There's portability, verified compute, privacy. There's so many things we can bring to the table. And so I think what I really think is interesting about the Ripple product as itself, it's like based, Ripple and XRPL is based on like really enterprise great products, and bringing this into the interchain stack is a huge opportunity, I think, for a more healthy economy, for more stable products. And I think it's also a really interesting choice working with the interchain stack and Evmos, because it is the standard way of building. I think we have shown this, there's like plus 90 or 100 zones at this point, and also using IBC as like the standard protocol for interoperability is, I think it just brings a lot of trust, I think, also in the system, and a proof of adoption of blockchain in enterprise-grade solutions. So I think overall, I think what has been lacking in the interchain is not really the proof of the technology, but rather having real adoption and liquidity coming into the system. So I think from that point of view, I think it's really interesting. And then from a programmability point of view, I mean, since we've announced this collaboration, there's so many developers coming to us and saying, okay, great, we've been waiting for like building something on XRP with like an EVM compatibility, right? There's a lot of audited contracts, a lot of like opportunities for new developers coming into the XRPL ecosystem. So from a technological perspective, it's really interesting for developers to join the system. But then from an economic and like liquidity perspective, I think this is going to be great for the interchain and the XRPL sidechain.
Same question as for Farhan. What, in your opinion, are the most exciting applications in this case?
So, I mean, I think also if we talk about IBC, like anything that takes advantage of the application-specific chains that are there already, right? We have, like Osmosis as a DEX, we have Stride as a liquid staking. There's so many different application-specific chains that can also be connected to the XRPL sidechain. But I think beyond that, I mean, I don't have a specific project that I would say is going to be the winner or anything. But I think based on, taking the XRP token as, representative for the XRP army and, the developer mindshare there is already, and the product that's underlying for like cross-border payments, I think building any DeFi primitives on top of that would be really interesting.
So basically win-win for everyone.
I think so. I mean, also if you think of like what problems are being solved in terms of like international payments, like if you look at, for example, I don't know, at Venezuela, like the remittance payments is like 5% of the GDP. If you look at the African continent, we have like 55 countries, 26 plus currencies. There's so many inefficiencies actually between like cross-border payments. And so these are actually real problems that could be solved. And that's where I was talking about the bridge between like, real problems and the blockchain space. I think this is a real opportunity of building like DeFi primitives on top of that.
Thank you. Mary, you're here. From Interchain Foundation point of view, Ripple is huge. We all know that. So what's your perspective on that? What the foundation and Interchain ecosystem will gain from this big step?
One of the most exciting things about Ripple, the organization, and then also the Ripple community joining the Interchain is quite simply Ripple has, I believe, one of the strongest brands in crypto and has an extremely passionate group of followers, the XRP army. And it's very exciting to me personally for those individuals to finally have a way to interact with DeFi, to interact with the broader ecosystem of applications that are out there. And we're very excited that that you all have chosen the Interchain as your first, as one of your first forays into that. And I think it'll be a lot of fun, honestly, to see the two communities mix. I mean, we both have very distinct cultures. However, what we both have is a lot of passion and a lot of excitement about the future and the possibilities of blockchain and Web3. So from an Interchain Foundation perspective, we're really, really excited to be welcoming you and your community to the Interchain.
Thank you.
Do you think Ripple will bring more devs to the ecosystem?
That is
new
the hope.
projects.
And we're very excited also to have some excellent builders like Evmos and Peersyst to be supporting those developers. I mean, I think with Evmos and Peersyst, you have some of the best teams out there. Evmos is really strong contributors to the ecosystem, so they'll definitely ensure you are successful.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we all agree on the simple fact that this integration is a huge step for both Ripple and Cosmos. So let's try to predict the future and dream a little. What awaits us in, like, let's say 1 year, 2 years horizon? What do you expect from this collab and how it will expand with time? Aurelie, can you please start?
What's the prediction in the 1 or 2 years?
Yeah, for this collab, how will it expand and what do you really want to see?
Yeah, so what I really want to see is really like a seamless integration between the two ecosystems, like a good mix of retail and institutional adoption. And I really believe there's still so much to be done, especially in payments, tokenization, and there's always some exciting new use cases, including on the retail front. So really very much looking forward to see all the fun things we can build together.
Yeah, beautiful. Guys, have something to add here, I guess.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just from a retail perspective and
We
the
have time, we
onboarding-
can dive deeper.
Oh, yeah. From like the retail perspective and onboarding, I think there's like still like a huge challenge, right, to bring new users into the space, and having, you know, token holders of XRP, you know, kind of discover a new space also from like what you can do with blockchain technology. I mean, we just heard about also privacy and like other benefits, right? I think there's a huge world to discover, and so in the future, I would really love to see how the experience of interacting with applications is, yeah, super smooth. And, you know, there's a lot of like, especially in the Interchain and like Cosmos ecosystem, there's so much like developer mindshare, a lot of innovation going on, and everybody's talking about, you know, end user applications to, you know, to scale and find distribution. And so I think beyond, you know, just holding tokens and so on, having more usability and have a distribution is going to be really important. And so, yeah, I just want to be seeing like, it's not just XRPL and a side chain or like one specific other chain, like we want to abstract that away, right? So that's the future I see.
What are the biggest challenges to achieve this goal?
Well, I would say, I think the biggest challenge right now is like a lot of people in the industry, I feel, focus on the technology or the infrastructure and the underlying infrastructure. What I like to focus on is really finding, you know, the applications that have real demand. And I think focusing the attention towards that is probably one of the biggest challenges, because I get into so many conversations that are always like kind of going to the same like rabbit hole. So I think, yeah, getting the right people excited to join the ecosystem is one of the biggest challenges, and I think this could be a really good milestone in that way.
Yeah, cool, thank you. Ferran, same question for you actually. Again, we all agreed that XRPL and Cosmos is a big deal, so how do you see here the project is contributing to overall growth of cross-chain liquidity and DeFi?
Yeah, I think the XRP ledger and XRP itself, it's going to experience an explosion of interoperability over the next few months, and especially in the long term. As I said, it's been quite isolated, and I think there is a significant number of initiatives right now. The XRP LEVM, it's providing a clear path of interoperability. We are integrating Axelar, which connects also the XRPL mainnet to the rest of the blockchains, and both chains will have also IBC enabled. So all this interoperability wall, I think it will create a huge opportunity, especially on liquidity, and especially, I guess, I'm very interested to see Cosmos developers and community. I think in terms of research and development, this ecosystem is quite advanced. I've been hearing during these days here very interesting conversations in many fronts, and I'm very curious to see what all these developers and bright minds are going to do when they have the capacity to access the liquidity and the institutional tokenized assets and all these products from the XRP ledger, and bring it to more this Web3 economy or the Web3 products that probably are more accessible or very accessible right now here. I think some people will create very amazing things, very difficult to predict exactly which ones, but there will be finally new products that I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, so you think the amount of use cases that like Ripple is well known for will grow as well?
Yeah, like for example, payments. XRP Ledger is very good at payments, and not only that, but there is a big number of institutional clients that are using the XRP Ledger. This is very well known. And when you mixed the programmability, the use cases on DeFi, the interoperability of all that together to offer these solutions to these institutional clients or vice versa, bringing these institutional products and bringing to the Web3 world, I think this is a very powerful mix and recipe that it's for sure going to create something very unique. So I'm very excited to see that.
Thank you.
Just on payment, you know, like we're just scratching the surface on payment, to be honest. Like when you look at the footprint of stablecoins right now, it's like 99% USD. So there's still this huge hegemony from USD stablecoin, but still we see some interest. Like we saw like the big acquisition from Stripe into Bridge, like the $1 billion acquisition, showing like it's coming, you know. So looking for me like another prediction, like looking forward to seeing like a footprint of like stablecoins, non-USD stablecoin, and seamless payment between those, bootstrapping liquidity on the FX front. So yeah, that would be huge. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Mary. No avatars anyway, so we have just 1 minute, so of course, please, the final words will be yours from Foundation. What do you await from this collaboration in like a horizon of like 1 or 2 years?
Again, we're very excited to have you all be joining the Interchain and to be offering additional use cases to your retail users in your community. And I echo the words that others have said around the potential for innovation that will come from the intersection between these two developer communities, because the IBC network currently is about 120 chains, around 1 billion in transaction volume per month. And I'm excited to see that volume scale, and it will definitely scale significantly with the addition of Ripple to the network and the XRPL network joining. So also excited to have our open source community begin to contribute and innovate based on the technologies that you all are bringing. So very glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And the same question as for the guys. How do you think the XRPL use cases and products will grow with this time? Maybe you have something to add to like DeFi applications and so on.
Specific use cases you're asking? I would say
because we all agreed on like payments first, RWA second,
yeah,
liquidity third. So what else?
What else? What else? I mean, the possibilities are endless, right? I think when you have a company like Ripple behind it, there's really a whole lot that can be done. I would say things the IBC network and contributors in the IBC network are really leading, I would say, in kind of in fringe research in some areas. So, you know, we have people doing things with interoperability that have never been possible before. So very excited for some of those individuals to be contributing here.
And looking forward to seeing what the great minds in this room and beyond are going to build. You know, it's like grassroots and decentralized ideas. So looking forward to seeing that. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
So our time is over, guys. Thank you anyway for the convo.